I spent months remodeling this house, and now that I'm about done, it's time to transform the backyard. There's one big problem. There's no good place to put a grill. Even once the deck's done, I don't want to have to haul the grill up and down. And so today, I'm fixing that by pouring a concrete patio. And boy, oh boy, did we struggle.
It's too wet. It's not wet enough. Oh man, why won't this go up all the way? Brought my mini X here, which is definitely overkill, but I got to dig out for my driveway and I got to dig out for this pad here. So I figured, what the heck? It's pretty easy digging. I don't have to do any manual labor. And I had this big tree stump, which the mini X just pulled right out. So we're going to dig this out, get this all prepped, because they're going to bring me concrete tomorrow morning at 10. Obviously I had my own equipment. This equipment was way overkill for this, but I had it, so I brought it here. If you don't have equipment, the way I used to do small pads like this is I would get a rototiller, and then I would rototill up the area just to make that dirt looser, and then I would wheelbarrow it out. Obviously that's a lot harder, but if you're just doing a 16x8 pad, that's definitely a good way to do it. Or you could rent a really small mini X if you got a truck where you can pull it. I mean, 15 horsepower machine would do this no problem, or a mini skid steer. So don't be discouraged if you don't have equipment. You can rent most of those machines for like $250 a day. All right, I have all of the sod dug out. And so now I'm gonna line up my form on the inside with the front edge of this deck. Measure out, set my form over here, set a board over there. I'm gonna leave this open because I'm gonna use my concrete bucket and my skid steer to come in here and dump concrete. And then as I back up, once I get close, I'll put this end board in. But got the laser level to get me all up where I need to once I get these forms set. All right, now my tape measure, we got to set the top of this form. We're gonna have 3/4 up. There's gonna be 4 steps. 1, 2, 3, 4. It'd be 6 inches a step, which I like. Okay. I have this inside one set. I want that outside one. We're going 8 feet. So I don't know, an inch lower would work. So I'm gonna go up 1 inch, and then I'll have 1 inch of slope away from this deck. So we gotta go -1, so we're at 0, we're gonna go -1. All right guys, so I am 191 inches long, and I'm 95.5 inches wide. So my diagonal is 17.9.5. I got this set where I want on both sides. I used the level to make sure I was straight down both ends, so I know these corners are where I want them. So I set a screw 1/2 inch off, so my diagonal is 17.9.5, but I got a 1/2 inch standoff. So 17 feet 10 inches is where I need to be. So you can see I'm 17 feet 10 inches there. Hook on that screw, which I set a 1/2 inch off. 10 inches here as well. So I'm square. Got this marked. I'm going to take it off. You can see I got to add a lot of gravel, but the problem was this was really soft. It had really thick sod, and you want to make sure you get all of that sod and all the roots out, or this will settle and crack. All right, I got that load all unloaded. I'm still a little bit lower than I want. I'd like to bring it up at least on that end another couple inches, and then maybe 1/2 inch to 1 inch down here. But I'm gonna go get my compactor, get some more rock. And my guess is I'm gonna have to get some fuel for this. There's a little in it. Can't believe that thing started up. Let's go. Get her warmed up for the shop and house. I'm going to show you why this teleskid is so amazing. That's why, right there. All right, it's pour day for this pad right here. They should be here in about an hour. Got all my forms set yesterday. Got some fiberglass rebar in. Shooting for 2 foot on center. It's more like 18, 20 inches on center, which is fine. This will be good and strong. So I'm pretty excited. I got, it says 16 by 8, and I just have my son, Remington, he's 11, helping me. So we'll see how this goes. But I did bring my skid steer. Because this is behind the house, you can't get a concrete truck back here. I have a concrete bucket, so I brought that with my skid steer, a little overkill, but kept me from renting anything. For those of you who have watched our show, have seen me use this a ton on pier pours, but I can fit about 1/3 of a yard of concrete, maybe a little bit more in here. And then I have a hydraulic door that I can control from inside the cab, and so that I can get the concrete where I want it without the truck getting close and messing stuff up. So I got this all oiled down, ready to go. I'm just going to clean the window so I can see a little bit better. Too wet. It's not wet enough. They always do this. The first part is always, well, that's not up all the way. Oh man. Why won't this go up all the way?
It goes up and then it starts sliding down.
So you want to talk about stressful. The very first concrete they put in the bucket was extremely dry, which doesn't work when you're using a concrete bucket like this. And on top of that, the hydraulic door kept going closed on the concrete bucket. It would stay open if I held the switch, but as soon as I let go of the switch, it would go closed, which tells me that there is a bad seal in the hydraulic ram, which I need to get fixed. This is definitely not the way I wanted to start out with this pour, and definitely not the experience that I wanted Remington and Emily to have the first time helping me with a flat work pour. Even though it was extremely stressful at the beginning, Remington and Emily stepped up and we were able to keep on going. So after the initial struggle, we were able to get the water content correct in the concrete, and the rest of the pour went smoothly. Well, we got it poured, and it started out rough. The first bucket of concrete was too dry, and it took me probably 5-6 minutes just to shake it out of there. So that really got us off to a bad start, but we got it wetted up and got her down. So we got it all screeded off. I floated it, so now we just have to wait for it to start to dry up where I can hand float it, brush it, edge it, be good to go. Way too wet here, but it's not down there. But that's been in the sun a lot longer. It's gonna be difficult because the sun is not on all of this at the same time. All right, we have a little bit of a problem because this was in the sun first and then it slowly kind of crossed. So this is still wet over here, and it's still wet up by the deck because that was, so it's kind of hard brushing it. So got a couple brushes, a little rougher here than I want, but that'll clean up nice. So I'm gonna start edging this because it's getting pretty hard. This is why I like to start this, just at least get this groove cut while it's soft, because that makes this part a lot easier. See, it's still too wet in this corner, but everywhere else it's dry. Every time I do concrete on my own, I realize why there's like 20 guys when they do it. We got it. I got it broomed, got it edged, but boy, this was difficult. This tree shaded this whole thing, and that was in the sun first,
and has slowly crept over. So this is not dried consistent, but it is in the books. Emily had to step in and help Rem and I. She came to our rescue and we got it done. Next morning, we're gonna go ahead and make the saw cuts. I'm gonna do 2. Break this into 3 sections. That way it'll crack where I want it to. Relief cuts are very important because that is where you are controlling the cracks in the concrete. Everybody's heard concrete will crack. It's just when. I like to cut them within 24 hours of the pour. I cut them about 1/4 to 1/3 of the depth of the concrete. So if you have a 4-inch slab, I would cut it about 1 inch to 1.25 inches, somewhere in there. And then what that will do is, as this concrete cures, you're creating a weak point, so that is where the concrete will crack. You can see that it is all done, forms are tore off. So I wanted to go through kind of the process, and I kind of think of this in 4 steps. There's the excavation step, there's the forming step, there's the pouring step, and then there's the tear down and grading. So if you're thinking about layout and excavation, obviously I had my own equipment. This equipment was way overkill for this, but I had it, so I brought it here. If you don't have equipment, the way I used to do small pads like this is I would get a rototiller, and then I would rototill up the area just to make that dirt looser, and then I would wheelbarrow it out. Obviously that's a lot harder, but if you're just doing a 16x8 pad, that's definitely a good way to do it. Or you could rent a really small mini X if you got a truck where you can pull it. I mean, you know, 15 horsepower machine would do this no problem, or a mini skid steer. So don't be discouraged if you don't have equipment. You can rent most of those machines for like $250 a day. Second step is the forming. And I would say the most important thing about forming is to make sure that you have straight lines. Use string lines if you need, and then make sure your slab slopes away from whatever structure you are pouring it against. So this is 8 foot wide. I have about 1 inch drop from the deck out to the yard. That way that assures me that the water will run away from the deck, away from the house. And I won't. Step 3, as far as pouring. My wife, 11-year-old son, and myself did this. And again, I used my skid steer and concrete bucket, which started out absolutely terrible. So make sure you have a couple capable people. Make sure that the concrete's wet enough that it'll flow and you can move it around, because that will make a difference. Obviously in a backyard, you're not going to be able to get a truck back here. Most of the concrete trucks won't even pull onto a concrete driveway in a neighborhood, but you can rent a concrete buggy, which is just a little tracked machine with a bucket that it hydraulically dumps, and they're really easy to use, and that would be the most efficient, effective way to get the concrete back here. Wet this down probably for the next 7 to 10 days just to slow that curing process, and it will really strengthen this. But hopefully this video was helpful to you. Hopefully you can see that a few non-concrete people can get it done with a little willpower. Hopefully this encourages you to get out and do some stuff on your own, save yourself some money. As always, we appreciate you watching. If you haven't already, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, share us with your friends, and don't stop dreaming.